Hey everybody, Billboard Chart Guy here. Welcome to the latest episode of BBCG and Friends. And I'm thrilled to have the captain with me, Captain Salty, aka Larry. How are you?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for doing this.
No
Um,
problem.
the Gorman family is leading the league in appearances on this show, so that's uh, that's a good thing.
Yes. Well, I'll say up front, the you've had the better of the two on already.
Well, yeah, she's better than me too. So she's got
Oh
us
yeah.
both beat. So,
Yep.
um, but again, thanks for doing this. I'm glad
No problem.
glad to say hello. I don't think we've met before, so it's
I
nice
don't
meeting
think
you.
so. No.
Um, so let's talk about your musical history. You're one of the few guys in this miniverse that's older than me. So uh, I'm happy to learn at your footsteps. To see what you can share with me about your musical history. So tell me what you were listening to when you were a kid, and who was some of your influences, whether it was friends or siblings or mom and dad.
Well, my musical career or music interest career goes back to the '70s, back to the Stone Age.
Oh, yeah.
My dad liked music. I don't recall my mom ever really listening to music. We had four kids; she's probably busy enough. But he liked old like Anne Murray and Dean Martin and what you would expect. But my first interest, the first band I really liked and went to, that was my first concert, is Grand Funk Railroad.
Okay.
So it's
Now,
way back.
now, so Grand Funk Railroad had a bunch of hits,
Yes.
and they, I believe, and you may have the answer to this, were the second band to ever play at Shea Stadium in New York.
Yes. I
The
believe
first,
that's true with the first one, obviously being
the, the,
the Beatles.
the Beatles,
Yeah.
the Beatles, right? Yeah.
You can still watch that concert from Shea Stadium on YouTube.
Which one, the Beatles or the Grand Funk
The
Railroad?
Grand Funk one.
What's amazing, you think about concerts today, and how they've evolved over the years. When you think about that Beatles concert in 1964, it was like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, things have changed quite a bit over the years. What was it about Grand Funk Railroad that drew you to them?
Well, from early on, I my favorite kind of music was heavy metal or hard rock, that type of genre. So um, I heard their music, liked all their music. I played in a band. We played a bunch of their songs. So that was the beginning. Is and even my the band's name that I played in was an album that was Grand Funk Railroad's title of one of their albums was Phoenix, and because the band that I played in was kind of a mishmash of people who had been in other bands,
Hmm.
so we named the band Phoenix. Kind of the rising from the ashes thing, and everybody came from other dead bands.
Okay, so I have a bunch of questions around that. So a little birdie told me you were the drummer in this band.
I was the drummer, yes.
You were the drummer. Okay.
Yep.
So what are we talking? How many members were in the group?
We started with three and ended with four. Not a big band, no
Uh,
percussion, no, just drums, a lead guitarist, a bass player, and then we added like a rhythm guitarist after. But we played some church dances, school dances, that kind of thing.
Where, Larry, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Brockton on the north side.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the band kind of got its roots there, right?
Yes.
And and was it strictly covers, or did Phoenix have any original songs?
Uh, I think we tried something that might be original, but it wasn't happening. So,
No, it didn't go.
no,
Now, you
nobody
know,
had that much talent.
now that era is famous for drum solos.
Yes.
Now, were you an aficionado of a 3 or 4 minute drum solo? Could you take the band, give them a little break, and you would do your thing?
Yeah, there was one song, a Grand Funk song, "Inside Looking Out," and it had a small drum solo in it, and I played that.
Okay, all right. So, what other bands did you guys cover?
Uh, some all I was trying to think about this the other day because every time something will come up on the radio from like way back, I'll say, "Oh, we played that." But like Allman Brothers, little bit, Led Zeppelin, a little bit, Grand Funk, which I said. Um, I don't know. It's been a long time, so
Yeah. um, and how long were you guys together?
about 2 years we lasted, and then girls came along and people
Yeah.
lost interest.
Right. So there was a Yoko Ono type who came and
Not
broke
on
up the
my
band?
side, no.
Not
But
on your side, no.
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, there was the kind of Yoko Ono type thing, sure.
Um,
Isn't there always?
there always is, right? Yeah. So I mentioned the Beatles earlier. Um, were you a fan of the Beatles? Like because you were probably what were you, like 10 or 11, or you were middle school when the Beatles and the Stones were
Yeah,
starting out.
yeah.
Yeah. were
Um,
you were you drawn to those kind of like the British Invasion?
I
um
didn't. I don't remember being like an uber fan of the Beatles. I liked them, and
right.
I thought it was an interesting. They were bringing up interesting new things. I had the White Album and could virtually tell you the words to every song. In fact, a few years ago, we're up in Sebago, and somebody played or it came on the radio, Rocky Raccoon, the song from the White Album.
Yeah.
And one of our son Josh's friends and I could sing the whole thing by ourselves, and everybody was kind of blown away that two people on the ends of the spectrum knew all the words to Rocky
That's
Raccoon.
right. That's right. Well, a lot of people feel that White Album would have been better served as a single album. There's a lot of people feel that there's a lot of filler
There is a lot of filler, like
on that.
what is it, the Revolution Number 9, and but there's
Piggies.
also yeah, but there's some catchy tunes in there too, that are like they sound like they're from the 40s and 50s that I get a kick out of, but I can see why people didn't feel it was up to the Beatles' usual standard. But
Right. Um, what about the Stones? Were you a
no,
fan of the?
we
No?
played we played a little bit of Stones, maybe one or two songs, but I didn't like them. I don't know why. I just didn't take to their music. I didn't think they were that good.
Right.
Of course, I
Um,
turned out to be wrong, but
well, they're still out there, Larry.
yeah.
They're still doing it. So, um, what about some American rock bands of that era? Were you like Credence,
Yes, I did like Credence. We
the
didn't.
Birds, people like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I I can remember in the '70s I saw Blue Oyster Cult with ZZ Top and Duke and the Drivers. So I liked Blue Oyster Cult, and
Okay.
that I think that was my first introduction to ZZ Top, which I later liked. Which is odd because now my daughter, that's one of her favorite all time bands is ZZ Top.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, where did you see that show? Do you remember?
I think it was The Garden.
Hmm.
Again, it's a long, long time, but I saw a lot of good shows in the '70s. Of course, there was the Old Garden, but a lot of bands came through there. I saw Rod Stewart there, Queen.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you ever see Zeppelin?
no,
Yeah.
no. That's there's a few old time rockers that I wish I had seen. Well, there's actually more than a few, and they're one of them. I wish I had seen them. Um, I wish I had seen Ozzy, but that was late, a little bit later.
Right. Well, Black Sabbath was late 60s, early
Yeah,
70s, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so go back to your so your dad liked Anne Murray and he liked Dean Martin. Was he like a Sinatra guy?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
He worked two jobs. The poor guy wasn't around a lot, so.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
but I can remember we had a big ass stereo. It was more furniture than audiophonics.
One of those giant systems
Oh
with
yeah,
ruled by wood, right?
yeah. Like one speaker, and the rest was cabinetry.
Right. So what was the first album you went out and said to yourself, I got to get to the record store and I need this album because it's just, it speaks to me. What do you remember, Larry, what that was?
The earliest one, I know I had all the Grand Funk stuff, but after that, an album that like spoke to me, and I played the shit out of it on the 8 track. Oh, you can't say that.
You can say that, sure.
Okay,
It's a
on
canvas.
the eight was "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" by Elton John. I like
Oh yeah.
that a lot. Played that a lot.
Yeah, that's a classic. God, there's so many songs on that album.
Yeah,
Did you ever see him live?
Elton John. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I think like '73. I saw him at the Garden.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was kind of really at his peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I just pulled up this album. Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road,
Yep.
Sweet Painted Ladies,
Yep.
All the Girls Love Alice, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, Harmony. It's my God.
There's a lot of good stuff. If the words to "Love Lies Bleeding," that was about the time the band was splitting up, so the words became um, kind of true in real life because it's about the the guy can't hold on to his girl. He's in a band, and it's kind of in there.
So you mean the band Phoenix?
Yeah, yeah. Not Elton John. Our band was splitting up, and about that
Right.
time. So
Got it. Yeah. Wow. You saw him in 73. My
yeah,
God.
yep,
Yeah. I saw him a couple of times. He you probably remember like in the 90s he did those tours with Billy Joel where
yep,
they'd each play a set and then they come out and play together.
yeah.
Um, and I saw him once at Madison Square Garden where it was just him without his band and
Um,
he was just on the piano playing all his songs. Um,
so
yeah,
much
I
better
love.
with the
Yeah,
band though. They're so tight, or they were at the time.
yeah,
When I go to concerts, I watch more than I participate. Like I watch the drummer a lot, and of course,
right.
and I watch the band and how they interact together. So my wife would say, "Are you having a good time?" I said, "Yeah, I'm just watching the band play because there's so much
Yeah,
goes into it to be really good."
yeah. That's a great point because if it's a band I've seen a lot, I do similar things. Like I'll take a song and I'll focus on the guitarist, or I'll focus on a keyboardist, or it's interesting to watch. Um, what Going back to Elton John for a second, just so many great songs. I mean, the Tiny Dancer and Levon and
Yep.
Honky Tonk, Get Back Honky Cat, um, Your Song, and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. My God, it's endless.
Right.
The run he had in the early '70s um, was amazing.
And he was a showman, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
He could. There's
Um,
not everybody can lead a band, be the front man for a band. He
yeah,
definitely can.
yeah, and he had that same group of guys forever.
Yeah.
The guys he was working with in the '70s kind of hung with him all through. It's
Yeah. What
amazing.
his lead guitar, Johnston, I think is his.
It's Davy Johnston?
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnstone or something? Yeah.
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 He's a great musician, tremendous musician.
Yeah, Davy
So
Johnstone.
Queen, I was into at the time too.
Did you see them in the '70s?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That must have been so that was well, tell me, do you remember, was that right around when like Bohemian Rhapsody came out?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it was. Um, I was working at a wood shop, and a bunch of us got tickets to go in and we used to, when the boss wasn't around, we used to turn on the radio onto like a rock station because he didn't like rock, but so we'd turn it on, and at the time, Bohemian Rhapsody was all the rage.
Yeah. Think about like put yourself in those your shoes at that point. There was nothing you ever heard that was like that on the radio, right?
Oh no, no,
It was so unique.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was amazing. Their and Melissa and I have talked about this obviously, but their performance at Live Aid was incredible.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably the best performance of any band at Live Aid.
yeah, by far. I mean, I love what you two did that day. They were
Yep,
great.
yep,
But Queen stole the show, and I think, at least from my perspective, maybe not the folks in London, but I was just blown away by how good they were. I had never seen them
right.
or seen them perform live. It was just a tour de force. It was amazing.
He's another guy, Freddie, who can lead a band, and he's a great front man.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you said your first concert was Grand Funk Railroad. Where was
Yeah, that was in '71, I believe, at Boston
okay?
Garden. Yeah, didn't have my driver's license. My father drove a few of us in, and then came back in and picked us up.
Oh, funny. Um, and I know you and the missus go to a bunch of shows. What have you seen most recently?
Well, we've seen Bruce a bunch of times, and
Right.
there's another group. I just watch Max play the drums when I see Bruce.
He's a machine.
He
And
is a
just
machine. That's what
yeah.
I call him, Max the Machine. He's like a robot.
He
Um,
and Larry, you're a great person to ask this because you know the for whatever any criticism of Max is he's just so mechanical and just
right.
you know
There's no
just
emotion.
no emotion.
Yeah.
Where there are so many drummers that are so much more flashy, but he is just the mighty Max as Bruce calls him. He
Yeah.
just keeps the beat.
He's
Uh,
he's technically very good. So good.
okay, interesting. Who else would you consider a technically good drummer?
Um, I don't-
It doesn't have to be current. I mean, just over the years.
yeah. In Van Halen, their drummer,
Alex Alex Van Halen.
yeah, Alex Van Halen. He's good.
Yeah.
But nowadays, drum kits have expanded into 30 pieces, and A guy like Max who can play on just a regular kit,
Yeah,
is kind of rare. So
yeah. What do you think of someone like Charlie Watts?
of who?
Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, his drumming.
Yeah, see, I didn't get into them, so I didn't watch them a
Yeah,
lot. Yeah,
yeah. He was very um, kind of laid back. He wasn't very, out front in terms of his drumming. He just kind of
right.
played in the background. Um, but you're right. It's funny you mentioned like Max and his drum kit is pretty simple. Like think about Ringo's drum kit.
Yeah,
Like,
again,
you know,
yeah,
a snare, a tom toms. Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah.
Um, do you like? What did you think of or the drummer of Rush?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Getty Lee?
No, the guy who passed away, and I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, but again, it was not a band I followed, but he was a good drummer. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, now I got to look
No,
up his name.
the guy who plays with Metallica is really good too.
Oh, Lars.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Neil Peart is the
Oh
drummer.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Neil Peart from Rush.
yeah.
Yeah, he's always been so impressive. Um, so, do you have a concert that kind of stands out as most memorable for either performance wise or something happened in the crowd or just a memory from a specific show?
Yeah. Liz and I went to see Bruce at Fenway. I want to say it's 2012,
Yep.
around there. Yeah. And that was an absolutely fantastic show. The weather was good. And at the end, it just started to mist, but not rain. So it was like, it was hot out and the mist felt really good. I met Ken Casey from the Dropkicks there.
Oh wow.
I was wearing a Dropkick Murphys T-shirt, and unbeknownst to us, he was sitting in our row. We had field seats,
Yep.
and about halfway through the show, this guy gets up and wants to go out, and I just assume it's somebody to go into the pisser or get a beer or something. And he sees me in the shirt. He goes, "Hey, thanks for the support." Get big bro hug, and so that was kind of a thing that stood out. I met Ken Casey.
Did you realize immediately who it was?
Once like he was right in front of me, I knew who it was. Yeah, because we had seen the Dropkicks. We've probably seen them many or more times than we've seen Bruce. So
yeah. So I know Melissa's a big Bruce fan. Are you just as big?
I'm not as big as her. Like some of his new stuff doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
But as far as to go and see a show, you will never spend better money than seeing him. The show is good. The band is tight. He gives you more than your money's worth. I'd advise anybody that has a chance to see him to absolutely go see him. We saw him at I think at least once or a couple, maybe twice, at Mohegan Sun, which is a fantastic venue.
Yes,
the acoustics,
it is.
There's no bad seats. It's great to go there.
Yeah. I saw the last two shows of his tour in 2014, and they were there.
Yep.
And that was a time when, like, there was a set list, but he just tore up the set list, and he was playing songs he had never played. He had, songs he hadn't played in, 40 years.
Right.
It was a crazy 2 nights of songs, which ended the High Hopes tour of 2014. And it's funny, you were probably at the Fenway show, because there were 2 shows at Fenway in 2012. I'm thinking you were at night 2, which is recognized as one of the great nights of the reunion era, that second night at Fenway. I, unfortunately, went to the first night, which was a great show, but it wasn't as good as night 2. And I had my 8-year-old son at the time, who I thought was ready for a show, and we were sitting behind home plate at Fenway, but
Yep.
one level up. And just as the encores were starting, he's like, "Dad, can we go?" He was falling asleep. I'm like, "Oh." So I reluctantly walked out of Fenway with Bruce playing the encores, but we had parked near Fenway, near the ballpark.
Yep.
So I would not leave. I had all the windows down in the car, and I listened to the encore from my car. So for all you folks out there, don't bring an 8-year-old to a concert.
That's funny. Liz and I kind of we started our son fairly early on concerts, just to get him to go to some things and experience it and see how much fun it is. And I think the first thing we took him to was Steve Miller down in Mansfield.
Right.
And so he liked it. And then we took him to see U2 at Gillette with a friend, and maybe one or two others. But he's not into our kind of music, although he's a big Bruce fan. He's a giant Bruce fan, but he has updated taste, and especially me.
And he must have some bootlegs of Phoenix somewhere around.
There's nothing.
There's nothing, huh?
Nope. Not a recording. There's no evidence that it ever happened.
Any chance of a reunification at Laconia in June?
Of my band? No.
Yes, your band.
It's zero chance of that.
You're like John Fogerty. You won't get together no matter what.
I have no idea where these guys are at this point. So they could be dead for all I know.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, listen, that's a perfect way to end it.
I had a couple questions for you too.
Oh, please.
What would you say was the strangest concert you were ever at, and why?
Okay. The strangest concert I was ever at. Wow. You caught me off guard here. I'm gonna say I saw the Almonds at the Beacon Theater in New York City. And let's just say I might have dabbled a little too much in the green stuff. And I just know I was there because I was with a buddy who remembers more of it than I do. I have they could have played the cha-cha or Beethoven. I would not have any recollection of what the Almonds did that night.
Well, that's good, but you know for a fact you were there, so
I know. Yes, I have confirmation.
And what is the worst concert you ever went to?
Oh man, I hate to say it.
Just didn't live up to the billing.
Well, unfortunately, the one that didn't live up to a billing, I hyped it up, and I was so disappointed, was Bob Dylan.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that it's not quite what you think it might be.
Larry, I saw him 6 or 7 years ago. I made a trip down to Philly. I met a buddy. We had, drinks and dinner, and I'd never seen. And, I had heard all the stories that, he changes arrangements and you may not understand what he's saying because his vocals are a little dicey. It was just like 90 minutes of noise. Yeah. I couldn't tell you one song he played while it was going on. I went and looked at a set list and I saw, oh, I knew this, I knew that, but it was such a disappointment because I was so excited to say I was finally going to see him.
Right.
On
A
the
legend.
on the on the flip side of that night, though, his opening act was Mavis Staples from the
Oh,
Staples Singers,
yes. Yeah.
and and she was incredible. She was so good, and she closed with "I'll Take You There,"
Yeah.
and she did a half hour that was just tremendous, and I was so excited. And then, Bob had to ruin the rest of my evening.
Then Bob came on stage.
Then Bob came on, right? Yeah.
Um, I felt that way about Mark Knopfler. We saw him at the Pavilion a few years back,
Okay.
and you go into it and say, "Oh, he's going to play all the hits, the moving refrigerators, and the whole thing,"
Right.
and nothing, just all instrumental bullshit. It was just terrible. I mean, he's very talented. He's a very talented guitarist, but you just
Yeah.
want to hear the hits,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
As Liz says all the time with Cully, play the hits.
That's right. Play the hits. I have such a soft spot for him. I love Dire Straits.
Yeah,
Their album "Making Movies" from 1980 is probably in my top 20 all-time albums. I love that album.
right.
Um, I love the sound of it, Sultans of Swing, and just
Yeah.
from beginning to end. I've never seen him live. Actually, I saw him with Clapton. He supported Clapton. He was in Clapton's band in like 89 or 90. I saw Eric Clapton at a show, and Knopfler was in the band. So I saw him
Oh,
perform with Clapton, which was cool. But I've never seen him do any of his Dire Straits songs. I mean, he's built a nice little career as a country artist as well.
yeah.
Bluegrass and country. But I'm surprised he didn't do any Dire Straits songs. Huh?
He did like I think one or maybe two, but if you're the headliner and you're going to play for an hour and a half, you got to have an hour and a half or 2 hours. You got to have a little more than that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I,
Uh,
I'm particular that way. I want to hear I don't want to hear what they think about, you know, shopping or politics, or I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Just
right.
play the hits.
Let's play that as well. It's two schools of thoughts there. Um, an artist, works on an album. He wants to promote the album. He wants to play the new stuff. But
Right.
when you play too much new stuff, you're going to lose. You don't have enough time to play all the songs you want to hear. So you have to respect the artist, right, for
Yeah.
putting that work in and producing that art or that music. But to your point, like Mellencamp, for example, this summer he's famously, he's everywhere promoting. He's going to do all the hits this summer. But
Yeah.
in
Liz is
previous years,
going. So.
yeah, I saw Mellencamp a couple of times with my wife, and I mean, if you got a Jack and Diane, and you got one other, Cherry Bomb or something like that,
Yeah.
but the rest of it was his new album, and that's you take that chance, I guess. But
They
I I
generally,
I I lean your direction with Play the Hit.
yeah, they generally try to somewhere in the middle of the concert they'll play two or three songs together from the album that they're touring about. And
Right.
and that's fine, you say, "Oh, all right, he's gonna play a couple new things. I'll go visit the men's room and get another beer or something like that." So,
Right.
but
Right.
and then they go right back, and I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I mean, it's a living, and they got to make a living. So,
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much, Larry, for doing this. I really appreciate it.
no problem.
And maybe this spring we can get out and get a foursome with Montante, and you pick the fourth, and I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. I've played with a few of the different Minifans, but now that that's over, so we'll probably see less of each other going forward. But we try to
Well,
stay busy.
That's
without
right.
KMS. It's been difficult, but we're trying to stay busy.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too. And I want to thank you again. And I want to thank, obviously, Menners for all his support behind the scenes. And of course, uh, thank you to Kirk for bringing us all together. And
Absolutely. I hope he's doing well.
yeah, absolutely. And we'll be talking to everybody soon. Have a great
All
day.
right. All right. Thanks.